Hey guys, it's me, 1239 here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about a new Anne of Green Gables adaptation that will be coming out later this year. On November 19, 2024, it was announced that Anne of Green Gables would be getting a new anime reboot titled Anne Shirley. Created by the animation studio, the Answer Studio, it will be released in Japan sometime in April of 2025. The show will have 24 episodes in total. Here is what the official website details about this announcement. It has been decided that the TV anime Anne Shirley will be broadcast on e-tele from April 2025. The original work is the Anne of Green Gables series, written by Montgomery and translated by Hanako Muraako, which is loved all over the world. Anne, an orphan who was taken in by Marilla and Matthew in Avonlea, Prince Edward Island, a beautiful small island in Canada, was able to compensate for her difficult circumstances up until the age of 11 with her overwhelming imagination and beautiful heart, which touched the hearts of those around her. This is a story that deeply conveys the small daily happiness and warmth of love through the depiction of the beauty of the great nature that lives there and the feelings of people. A timeless masterpiece that has been loved for over 70 years since its translated version was published in Japan in 1952. This story, which has never faded, is revived as a new coming-of-age story in the animated series Anne Shirley. Answer Studio is in charge of animation production. Set on the real-life island of Prince Edward Island, which is said to be the most beautiful island in the world, it charmingly depicts Anne and Diana living in harmony with the beautiful nature and dynamically active. In the anime, Anne's growth is depicted along three pillars. Number 1, the new family bond between Anne, Marilla, and Matthew. The diversity depicted in the original work is carefully depicted through the process of three people becoming a family. Number 2, Anne and Diana's friendship depicts the importance of best friends and the friendship that transcends changes in each other's environments as they grow up. Number 3, Anne and Gilbert's romance. The climax of the work is the transition from rivals to friends and the realization of love at the end. Quote, "I can't stop imagining," end of quote. For everyone, both those who know Anne of Green Gables and those who don't. Anime Anne Shirley broadcast on e-tele from April 2025. Planned. Broadcast schedule is subject to change. Look forward to the broadcast. Anne Shirley Production Committee X, formerly Twitter, NHK Anime. The Brazilian fan Twitter account at annewithane shared this information. Anne Shirley is the title of the new anime inspired by Anne of Green Gables and hashtag annewithane. The anime will combine the events of the book and the series. The first season will premiere in April 2025. And then there was a fan that responded back to this tweet asking, where does it say that events from the series will be mixed? As far as I know, they intend to adapt events from the next 2 books. And then the Brazilian account answered this. Konbini reported that the anime will address the entry of a character from the series who is not present in the books. The reason why I'm bringing this information up is simply because there has not been a credible source that I could find that can confirm that the anime will be inspired by annewithane in some way. But regardless, the mention of the anime being inspired by annewithane is interesting because of the photos that they've released of the anime. Now let's talk about the photos. Picture 1 seems like from the moment Anne is waiting for Matthew at the station, she's wearing a brown dress and a white apron, brown hat, white stockings, and brown shoes, similar to annewithane's depiction of Anne Shirley. They do seem to be heavily inspired by her, as the 1979's anime series does not even depict Anne with an apron, and her stockings, shoes, and hat are black. The character also looks very similar to Amy Beth. The handbag is different though. Picture number 2 seems to be from the moment Matthew is picking up Anne at the train station. It looks like she stood up and trying to wave at him possibly. Picture 3 shows Anne and Diana making flower crowns in the field. Once again, this Anne reminds me of Amy Beth's Anne, and now even this Diana kind of reminds me of Delilah's Diana. This Diana is less subtle though, but still very reminiscent. Picture number 4 shows Anne and Gilbert staring face to face. Looks like they're at school and that it comes from the carrot scene or from the very first moment they meet. Gilbert looks very shocked to see Anne, so maybe he wasn't expecting to see a new girl, or this is possibly when he starts taunting Anne and Anne becomes startled. I can almost hear him say carrots through this photo. We also got 4 artboards that showcase various iconic settings from the book that are going to be in the show, shared by the anime's official Twitter account at anime_Anne_E. The 4 artboards that we see are Green Gables, Birch Road, Evening View of Avonlea, and The White Wave of Delight. So unfortunately, this announcement doesn't mean that we're going to be getting a revival or a continuation of the Netflix/CBC series Anne with an E, but I think it was to be expected that we would continue to get more reboots and reimaginings of the original book. In recent years, we've gotten a lot of new Anne content from various types of media, such as books/graphic novels, Anne of West Philly, the anthology, Anne of Manhattan, video games, Oh My Anne, TV shows, The Girl of the Green Valley, and theater/musicals. Anne of Green Gables, a new folk rock musical. So getting a new Anne anime isn't really a surprise to me. I thought it was to be expected, but regardless, I find it very exciting and I can't wait to see it. Anne with an E was probably the most popular adaptation of Anne of Green Gables besides Sullivan's version in 1985, Anne of Green Gables, the miniseries, and I recently talked about my thoughts on the possibility of Anne with an E coming back with either a season 4 or a new show entirely where it continues the storylines that we left off on. In my Q&A video that I released recently, I will leave a link somewhere up here and in the description box below if you want to check it out. Basically, I said in that video that I think that with the fact that Anne of Green Gables is something that has been pumping out adaptations all of the time, I think eventually we're going to either get a revival of some sort of Anne with an E, even if it is not like in the immediate future. I think that there is always a possibility for that to happen, especially with all of these revival/reboots that have been coming out based on the fact that people are very drawn to nostalgic content. So I think Anne with an E will eventually become nostalgic content that either CBC or Netflix or both will want to try to capitalize off of that in the future. I don't know when, but those are just my thoughts about that. I also think that it's always a positive thing to see Anne of Green Gables getting more and more adaptations, especially in TV show format, because it shows that there is still an existing audience for this classic story, and you never know, it might eventually convince CBC/Netflix to give Anne with an E another shot. Now, in terms of the history of animated Anne of Green Gables properties, we actually have 4 of them. First is the Anne of Green Gables anime adaptation in 1979 by Nippon Animation. Its translated title is Red-Haired Anne. The series spans 50 episodes, closely following the book. Besides the translated novel, for Japanese fans, it was their first introduction to Anne of Green Gables. It was positively received by Japanese fans and remains one of the most beloved adaptations of the novel internationally. I've reacted to the first couple of episodes on my channel, so check them out if you haven't already. The second animated show is called Before Green Gables. It was released in 2009 and it is a prequel to Red-Haired Anne. It was based on the 2008 prequel novel by Budge Wilson, also titled Before Green Gables. It was also created by Nippon Animation. The show spans 39 episodes and follows Anne's life before she moves into Green Gables and meets the Cuthberts. The third animated show is called Anne of Green Gables, the animated series. Released in 2001 by Sullivan Entertainment, the production company that created the Anne of Green Gables 80s version. Unlike the 1979 anime series, this adaptation does not follow the novel as closely, adding characters from Sullivan's other Anne-related property, Road to Avonlea, that was inspired by Anne of Green Gables author L.M. Montgomery's other novels, The Story Girl and The Golden Road. It spans 26 episodes and it is in fact a show that introduced a lot of young millennials/old Gen Zs to Anne of Green Gables, myself included. The last animated Anne of Green Gables property is called Anne Journey to Green Gables. It is an Anne of Green Gables the animated series prequel film adaptation that was released in 2005, which follows Anne's life before she moves to Green Gables and lives with the Cuthberts. On November 27, 2024, it was announced that the anime would release new editions of Anne of Green Gables using images from the new animated series. And on December 27, 2024, it was announced that there would be a comic book adaptation of the anime anime series, and it already came out. It was released on January 5th, 2025. So this is all the information that I've found so far about the new anime series. I've seen a lot of people speculating that because the show is called Anne Shirley and not Anne of Green Gables like the first novel is, that it's actually going to deal with other books from the Anne of Green Gables series, such as Anne of Avonlea and Anne of the Island, which I would love to see because there's a lot of Anne of Green Gables adaptations that don't get like very far into the novels, like into the other novels. We mostly see adaptations that just depict the first novel because it's the most popular of all the novels, of course, but I would love to see a series that actually goes into like adult Anne. And I'd also love to see this anime go into other novels from the series because the other animated properties that I've mentioned have only really done the first book, and then they've just created prequels, so they haven't really gone too far in depth with Anne's story. And as you can tell, I'm a very big fan of the anime from the 70s. I have more pictures up here, but they're not visible, but I have like a lot of the postcards from the anime series. If they sell any of these pictures like that, I would love to decorate my wall with more anime and images, you know? So just to wrap up my thoughts, I'm super excited for this anime to come out. I will be here sat waiting for the show until it comes out. I'll just need to be able to see the show either with subtitles or dubbed. At this point, I can't be picky or choosy. I just need to be able to see the show in English somehow. And if I do get the opportunity to see it, then I will probably react to it on my channel because it's going to be the new Anne thing that I'm hopeful that we will all be super excited to see, including Anne with an E fans. I hope we're all, you know, reunited again for this special show coming out. I especially can't wait to see how this new version differs or relates to previous versions, if it's going to follow closely to the novel or differs from it like Anne with an E did. The official teaser for this anime has already been released, so I will be reacting to it in my next video. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this announcement of this anime. Are you excited? Let me know. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to read your opinions. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for always watching. Mwah. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you guys want. And I'll see you guys next time with my official teaser reaction to Anne Shirley, the anime. Bye guys. Mwah.